be always acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, our strength and Redeemer. Amen. Please be seated. Jesus, he asks a lot of us. And I think he goes a little bit too far today. Farther than I can go, farther maybe than some of you can go. Many of the saints of God that we remember have gone there. But bless those who curse you. Bless your enemies. Pray for your enemies. Bless those who make fun of you. Gary, blessings to you, my son. It's difficult. Jesus asks us, as I often say, to do unnatural acts because it's natural to hate your enemies. It's natural to want vengeance on your enemies. It's natural to make fun of people who disagree with you. And I'm afraid too often we fall into that temptation. I've read some of your posts on Facebook. Come to me in the confessional that we're going to build here instead of the bell tower. Jesus asks us to do amazing things. Because imagine the love you have to be filled with to forgive your enemies. Look at Archbishop Tutu. He's one of those people who was persecuted, spat upon, hated, and yet look at the joy and the forgiveness on his face. And you've probably read the stories of the Truth and Reconciliation groups in South Africa where the accuser and accused were reconciled. That's tough work. Tough work. We have a lot of tough work to do in this church. A lot of tough work. And the beautiful thing in my meditations today, as I prepared for the sermon Sunday morning, I really thought about it all week, okay? Is the church carries the DNA of our tradition. The church is the womb in which faith is often born. The church is the home in which faith is increased and raised. And church is the tomb where we are buried from, knowing that death is not the last word, that the resurrection of Jesus Christ, our resurrection, is the last word. And the adventure continues. I don't think, this is just my guessing because none of us know, other than having my hair back when I get to heaven, I'm not sure all of my impurities are going to be purged and everything's just going to be hunky-dory. My imagination is the adventure of life will continue. And I will be reconciled with those people I could not reconcile with here. Because I will be so full of God's love even more that maybe I can be like Archbishop Tutu. Or be like the Dalai Lama who has that same playful, childlike twinkle of someone who has had all kinds of persecution, yet still carries the joy. That is our task here. This is our task here, is to form our new children of God as people of joy, of people of love, of people of forgiveness, of people who are unnaturally able to want to pray for their enemies. I think the most I've been able to do is say, I'm feeling this anger, and I know you want me to forgive. Help me forgive. Like the prayer said today, we need God's help to do that. It's nothing to beat ourselves up about if we can't. Pains run deep. Maybe the pain of being perceived as being hurt by God runs deep. We need to open ourselves up as we open ourselves to the falling of the Holy Spirit to fill us with love. So much so that when we are tempted to show hatred or to make fun of people we don't like, it will grab our heart. It's like when I saw Nimi in church today. I grabbed my heart. There's some of you others out here I grabbed my heart on. I love you. You know, someone needs to go get those children, please. Because we're about to do the thing. We're about to bring two people into the household of God. With the apostles, with the criminal on the cross, with the Gentiles in Cornelius' household, with the 3,000 that heard Peter's long sermon and didn't get it turned off. We're going to bring them into this place that shelters the traditions that we have inherited and that continue to grow and change. I've seen some pictures of you when you were 20 years old. I barely recognize you. We change with age. And like wine, we get better with age. So look forward to it, you young people. You too. All right. I think we're ready to do it.